Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming to my talk on how we're using GIS at Fauna Flora to collaborate internationally with local communities and help protect threatened species. Fauna Flora is a nature conservation charity whose mission is to protect the diversity of life on Earth for the survival of our species, the habitats, the planet, and people. For over a century, we have been working in partnership with local communities to support nature conservation action around the world. The conservation technology team is a small team of 5 people who are at the forefront of applying innovative technical solutions to environmental management challenges. We support many projects in partnership with local conservationists all over the world, ensuring they have the right data to meet our project's objectives, as well as building capacity through training and peer-to-peer learning. We now have 165 Fauna and Flora staff using ArcGIS in 20 different countries. And over the past 7 years, we've completed more than 200 surveys. We take full advantage of the analytical and collaboration tools within ArcGIS in a wide range of our projects. For example, we use ArcGIS Pro to design and map marine protected areas in Sao Tome and Principe. We use field maps to patrol and monitor village forest areas in Indonesia. And we also use Survey123 for primate research in Western Uganda. But today, I want to share with you a project that is very special to my heart, and it's the conservation and protection of sea turtles in Nicaragua. So why sea turtles? Well, many species of sea turtles, loved by many of you, I'm sure, are critically endangered. And that's a big problem, because they are vital when it comes to protecting environment like coral reef and seagrass beds. They have also been in our ocean for 200 million years. And that's a very long time when you think that humans have only been on Earth for 6 million years. Our project is focused on the Nicaraguan Pacific coast, extending over 400 kilometers. It is widely recognized as providing some of the most vital nesting sanctuaries for critically endangered hawksbill and leatherback, as well as other species like the green sea turtles and olive ridleys. But sadly, there are many threats to sea turtles, and we need to consider all of them if we are to protect them. In particular, the threat from plastic pollution, where they often mistake shopping bags for jellyfish, or threats like warming temperatures that impacts the gender imbalance of turtle hatchlings, and the threat from fishermen, which means they often end up caught in fishing nets. But as you can see, there is one common pattern here. They may have survived for millennia, but yet they are now facing extinction due to threats caused by humans. But one of the worst threats they're facing is the illegal poaching of the eggs. Turtle eggs have been a valuable source of protein in Nicaragua. And when poverty rates increase, the demand for eggs also increases. In fact, in many nesting areas, almost all of the eggs laid by sea turtles are extracted by us for food. And yes, that is almost 100% of all the nests. But it's not just a Nicaraguan problem. Over the past 3 decades, the population of leatherback and hawksbill sea turtles across the world have declined by 98%. In the Eastern Pacific, there are thought to be only 1,000 adult female species left for each species. And even worse, the leatherback could actually be extinct within the next 60 years. Shockingly, we've almost reached a point where the sea turtle population is beyond recovery. And that's why we needed to act. So let me introduce you to Luis Manzanares, whose life journey transformed him from a poacher into a passionate sea turtle protector. Luis was following his parents' footsteps. He grew up harvesting, selling, and eating the turtle eggs, and he never considered the potential life within. But in 2010, when he was only 17 years old, he volunteered to join a community conservation project, and since then, he decided to dedicate the rest of his life to sea turtle conservation. He and his team are now protecting nesting beaches, relocating vulnerable nests into the hatcheries, and crucially, help persuade their own communities to change centuries of tradition and protect the sea turtles instead of poaching their eggs. So how are we using Esri technology to help Luis and other conservationists? Let me start by sharing some of the challenges we've had. If I take you back 20 years, we started collecting data through pen and paper methods, requiring countless hours to manually transcribe these paper records into spreadsheets. Not only was this an error-prone and time-consuming process, but it resulted in an overwhelming backlog of information, and it was nearly impossible to easily track trends and patterns. Access was also very challenging, which meant it was really difficult to pull out some key figures for reporting. And after evaluating the different options, we opted for Esri's ArcGIS system because it offered a complete online and mobile solution to collecting data, storing it centrally, monitoring changes on dashboards, and communicating our successes through StoryMaps. The system also ensures greater security for our sensitive information, and it also includes user-friendly features with surveys that are easy to set up. We've made significant improvements in our data collection processes by implementing Survey123 Connect. This step has allowed us to standardize our surveys, which resulted in an increase in consistency and accuracy. This transformation has also effectively eliminated the data backlog we were experiencing, allowing us to process and analyze our data a lot more efficiently. Our utilization of Survey123 field app has also changed the way we gather our data in the field. It has not only minimized the potential human error in the field, but now we collect data in the field a lot faster too. What once took hours can now be accomplished within minutes, thanks to this rapid and easy data entry features of the app. This efficiency allows our team to spend less time on the technicalities of data collection and more time on the ground taking action. Survey123 has also been a key tool for us in improving our understanding of the spatial distribution of nesting beaches in Nicaragua. It provides us with precise geolocation data, improving our capacity to map and monitor these habitats. As you can see in the screen, these are the coordinates coming out from Survey123. And the red dots are showing the leatherback nesting location, and the green dots are showing the hawksbill nesting location. With this level of detail, we can develop and implement conservation strategies that are adjusted to the specific geographies and challenges of each nesting site. But very recently, we've also created this ArcGIS dashboard, which shows the data in real time from Survey123. It is still in its first developments, but the dashboard is set to improve the way we share our data with our stakeholders. It shows data dynamically, offering visualizations that are both informative and engaging. What's really exciting about this is that we in the UK and anyone else involved in this project can now access the data within seconds of collecting it in remote locations. We believe it will make a real difference to our work as it enables us to make informed decisions with unprecedented time and accuracy. We use the technical capabilities of ArcGIS. We'll be able to share information and foster collaboration among our network of conservation partners. Esri technology is also helping us to tell our story at Fauna and Flora. This is a video of the story map I've created. It is an interactive storytelling tool that combines narrative text with images, maps, and other multimedia content, which illustrate our project's achievement throughout 20 years of our work. Internally, our Fauna and Flora teams can use StoryMaps to stay up to date with our project's developments, whilst externally, it's a key tool for us for communicating our impact to our donors, the public, and crucially for us, new potential donors. Through StoryMaps, our stakeholders can virtually explore the areas we're working in, understand the data that we're collecting, and see the tangible results of their support. Finally, our adaptation to remote collaboration has been important to us. As you can see in the picture, and that's me on the full wide screen, we successfully conducted online training sessions, ensuring no interruption to our capacity building agenda despite the geographical distances. These training sessions have been conducted in Spanish, making them as effective as possible. Esri's translation features can facilitate this real-time bilingual collaboration, enabling team members across the globe to work together, regardless of the primary language. Our surveys have also been built in Spanish to ensure local accessibility. However, Esri's products allows our users in the UK to interact with the data in English. This multi-language functionality bridges the gap between our field team in Nicaragua and our analysis team in the UK. At the core of Fauna and Flora mission in Nicaragua is our commitment to partnerships and local capacity building. Luis, our hero, with the support of Fauna and Flora staff in the field, are helping to build the knowledge, the networks, the financing, and the resilience of community cooperatives so that they can take on this leading role in turtle and marine conservation. Some of the locals were a bit initially reluctant to adopt this new technology as they feared of making mistakes. Luis' relationship with the community, which is built on deep trust, was key in navigating this transition. Luis has been able to show them how easy it is to use, and as a result, their trust in him has grown, and so has his influence within the community. It's actually been a long journey since 2020, shifting from uncertainty into confidence among our local communities in Nicaragua. I'm really proud of what we achieved so far. We've now fully replaced our old paper-based data collection method with Survey123, allowing us to save hours of our time. We've created 4 comprehensive surveys, all streamlining under one monitoring database. We understand the geospatial precision of nesting beaches and can allocate our resources more effectively. We also conducted 2 technical capacity building workshops a year, equipping at least 28 local community assistants in digital data collection. The key point here is that thanks to a range of Esri's technology, we have been able to develop a long-term, successful conservation plan. So what does the future hold for the project and our local communities in Nicaragua? We can't promise all endangered species will survive, but I believe now some have a better chance. We will continue to empower our Nicaraguan communities to take full technical ownership. We equip them with the tools for independent and collaborative conservation action, fostering a culture of environmental responsibility for continuous engagement. We will continue to convert more poachers into protectors of the sea turtles through our incentive program of Fauna Flora. And with the help with Survey123, our analysis of turtle population has become more precise, allowing us to quickly interpret complex data and therefore take rapid action to stabilize and recover more sea turtle population, both now and in future. What's amazing to me is that with a bit of collaboration and the help with Esri technology, we may be able to save endangered species. But I will leave the final words with Luis. He recently told us he started to see some real results from this transition, and it is a source of inspiration for our impactful work. This new tool, Survey123, has made it easier for them to protect wildlife and feel proud of their work. They're learning fast, and they're looking forward to the day they will be able to manage everything on their own. In the last 20 years, over 300,000 sea turtles have been released back to the wild. And it's about more than just saving the turtles now. It's about local communities working in collaboration with Fauna Flora and feeling empowered to make a real difference every day. Thank you so much.